Yo! Did you party too much during the spring semester and is now unemployed for the summer? Do you still need to make some extra money during the summer? Well, do not worry, because in this video, I'll talk about 5 summer side hustles for you to help you make more money. What's up guys, it's David here, and sorry if I sounded a little bit rude in the intro. I just had to make fun of some of the party animals out there. But I promise I'll be nice for the rest of the video. So if I was talking about you in the intro, please don't click off yet, because I'm trying to both help you and convince you to not make this mistake again. So now let's talk about 5 summer side hustles for college students. So the first side hustle I would look into is pet sitting, especially dog or cat sitting. You can also look into dog walking since people don't want to walk their dogs during this hot summer. Rover is a great application to look into for both of those services. Coming from personal experience, I took a class last summer while working part-time at a call center, and I was able to dog sit multiple times that summer. And I think my rate was about $25 a day. The good thing about the dog sitting gig is that typically they can last for at least a week. And you may be able to dog sit multiple dogs at once as well. Unfortunately, I personally live in a pretty small apartment and I already have a dog, so dog sitting 2 dogs may not be the best idea. Now, if you're allergic to cats and or dogs, I'm sorry. I truly am. Because pet sitting dogs and cats will certainly be where most of the demand will be, as tons of people who go on summer vacation will need someone to take care of their dogs and cats. However, there is still a possibility that you can pet sit other pets like hamsters or fish. You may not make a whole lot of money taking care of these animals, as there will certainly not be as many opportunities, and a lot of these animals are way less maintenance. So nobody's will be willing to pay as much. But hey, some money is better than no money. And I think the next side hustle will be a little bit better for you. The second side hustle I would look into is babysitting. The demand for babysitters, especially preteens, always increases over the summer, as kids don't have school, but they're either not old enough to stay home by themselves, or the parents are concerned about their safety at home. Now, I know most parents will probably just send their kids to some sort of summer camp, as those may be cheaper than hiring a babysitter for the whole day, but most of them end before they finish work. That is where you can come in. The parents may pay you to pick up their kids and take them home every day, and maybe stay with them for a few hours. And if the kids and parents like you, they'll reach out over and over again. What I really like about this side hustle is that it is one of the best jobs you can get during the semester. I mean, speaking from personal experience, and yes, as hard as it may be to believe, I was once a babysitter. I was almost always able to either do my homework or study at some point while I was on my shift. And if you think babysitting is only for girls, I'm sorry, but you're mistaken. Because most preteen boys would want other guys to babysit them because, well, we can play video games with them. So if you want to get started with babysitting, I would check out apps like Care, Bambino, or Sitter City. The third side hustle I would look into is tutoring. Now, if you're a student who did not excel in any particular class in college, like myself, maybe it's not a great idea to tutor other college students, which I think is honestly fine. I mean, you probably won't make much money tutoring other college students anyways. What you can do instead is to tutor middle and high schoolers. I mean, there should be a few subjects that you can teach, right? On top of that, coming from an Asian background, I've seen a lot of parents who want their kids to get a head start on a particular summer in high school over the summer. So they would often seek tutoring for their kids. There are also a lot of parents out there looking for SAT tutors over the summer, as that is really the best time for students to study for that. You can also look for high school seniors who need help with their college application, which I'm sure you will do a pretty good job with since you have experience in submitting college applications. For me personally, I was able to tutor other college students in business math, business calculus, and introductory statistics in exchange for, I think, $15 an hour. I also tutored Algebra 1 Geometry and Algebra 2 to many younger students online. I also spent a little bit of time tutoring SAT math. I think my average rate for all of those online tutoring sessions was around $17 an hour, which I think is great for a college student working remotely. If you want to look into tutoring other students, there are countless websites out there full of parents looking for tutors for their kids. There will also likely be programs in your local library that you can sign up for. The only catch to those is there is a possibility that you would need to complete a couple free tutoring sessions, and if you do a good job, then they'll start coming back for more while paying you in the process. The fourth side hustle I would look into is mowing lawns. If there's one reason why many people do not want to buy a house, besides the fact that they simply can't afford it, it's because they don't want to mow their lawns. In fact, many people hate mowing lawns, especially during the summer, since it can get very, very hot. This is where you can come in. Since you are a tough hustler with a strong desire to make money, even through the summer heat, you can mow their lawns for them. For a price, of course. Back when I was in high school, I was able to charge up to $50 per lawn I mow. And typically, they take me around an hour and a half to 2 hours at most. A lot of times, your customer will have a lawnmower for you to use. So if you do not have one, you have nothing to worry about. If the customer does not have a lawnmower for some reason, or they don't want you to use theirs, you can always invest in one. There are tons of used lawnmowers you could probably get for around $80 to $100, which I think you can make the money back in like 2 to 3 jobs. I know there are a lot of TikTokers who recommend having a business card to promote this business, and while I think that is a possible marketing strategy, I feel like that may be a little bit outdated today and may not be the best for beginners. I mean, think about it. Printing business cards can cost a lot of money, and there's a limit to how many people you can reach with these cards. Instead, I recommend listing your services on Facebook Marketplace or community groups and Craigslist. And yes, I know, doing this is technically against Facebook's terms and services, but come on, you can't possibly follow every single rule if you want to hustle, right? I mean, what is Mark Zuckerberg gonna do? Call your parents? Now, a couple of ground rules when posting your services online. To protect yourself from scammers, do not post a real number. Consider using a Google Voice number, which is free to use. If someone's asking you to send them a code because they have a made-up reason to think you are some spammer, ignore them. They are a scammer from a foreign country who is trying to steal your phone number to gain access to your bank accounts and whatever else you own that they can get their hands on. Also, make sure you discuss the pricing before the job is done. I don't think people usually try to take advantage of a hardworking teenager, but there are low-lifers out there who would do something like this. So I recommend even asking your customer to show the money before you start working. You could honestly even have a contract in place if this is the first time you've mowed for this person. And there you go. If you do a good job at a reasonable rate, you can get more and more jobs from the same client. I mean, grass grows back every couple of months, and there's a possible chance that they will still not want to mow it themselves even when the weather is better. And on top of all that, you can also brag to your friends that you actually touched grass during the school semester. The last side hustle is delivery driving. Now, I do not like this one as much as the other four because it's just not as scalable nor consistent, but I feel like I should probably still include this on the list because the barrier to entry to this is super low, and the pay is surprisingly solid. Now, obviously, something that comes within delivery driving is that there are other costs like car depreciation and gas, but with all that factored in, I think it's still a pretty solid income source. So back when I did DoorDash and Uber Eats, I was able to consistently make $15 an hour after gas and car depreciation, and I do not live in a super big city. Now, if you do want to start delivering food, there are a few beginner mistakes you should be aware of. Firstly, do not accept no tip or low tip orders. As delivery drivers, we unfortunately rely on tips, and if we're consistently accepting no tip orders, we could potentially be losing money after gas and car depreciation. So if the pay for the order is less than $1 per mile you drive, do not accept that order. So for example, if the order will require 6 miles worth of driving, but the payout is less than $6, do not accept it. I also do not recommend driving over 10 miles for one order unless you're getting paid like at least $2 a mile. So if the order requires over 10 miles worth of driving to complete, the order should be at least worth over $20 because chances are you'll need to drive back to where you delivered to, which will consume gas. Secondly, if your customer wants you to leave it somewhere, make sure to take a clear image of where you left it. Coming from personal experience, I've witnessed so many instances where someone who ordered food to a hotel room accidentally puts the wrong room number, and if you put it in the wrong place and the customer can't find it because the image is not clear enough, the customer will likely assume that you took the food after you marked it as delivered, which I am sure is not something you would actually consider doing. Another reason why you need to take very good pictures is because, unfortunately, there has been cases where scammers who want to pretend that their food is not delivered so they can get both the food and a refund. I know, it's really unfortunate that these people exist. Luckily yet surprisingly, this has never actually happened to me. But typically I believe DoorDash and Uber Eats will ask their customers to take a picture of their front door to make sure the food is not there if they want to claim that it's not there. So if your picture clearly indicates that the food was dropped at the scammer's front door, you may just save yourself from losing your job. Lastly, avoid orders from McDonald's, Wendy's, and Popeyes unless the tip is huge, which usually is not going to be the case since this is fast food. The reason why I recommend this is because these three restaurants often close their lobbies very early and have incredibly long drive-through lines. And I don't think you would want to wait 30 minutes in line just for $8. So those are 5 side hustles I encourage college students to try out during the summer, especially if they did not get a summer internship. Let me know if there's any other good side hustles in the comments below. Keep doing what you love and I'll see you guys next time.